dear members of the United Nations, I am the spokesperson of the Congress today. I am opening this Congress with respect to all of you. Today, I would like to handle the issue of child maltreatment, child abuse, and children rights violation. As United Nations, we have a Convention on the Rights of Children, yet this convention seems to be insufficient as it is being questioned still even after its entering into force after 35 years. We have to shed light upon the maltreatment of children even more today. First, I want to state you some statistics around the globe and Europe. In a UNICEF report, it has been stated that the poverty increased in 20 out of 32. European countries varies, it decreased only 12 countries. According to the Eurostat, the children are at risk of social discrimination and find themselves discriminated, stigmatized, are likely to be unsuccessful in education and social life, which results in a lost generation that will not adapt for life. Nearly 3 in 4 children, or 300 million children, aged 2 4 years regularly suffer physical punishment and or psychological violence at the hands of parents and caregivers. 1 in 5 women and 1 in 13 men report having been sexually abused as child aged 0 to 17 years. Consequences of child maltreatment include impaired lifelong physical and mental health, and the social and occupational outcomes can ultimately slow a country's economic and social development. A child who is abused is more likely to abuse others as an adult, so that violence is passed down from one generation to the next. It is therefore critical to break this cycle of violence, and it will create positive multi-generation impact.
I want to drive your attention to the term again and clearly define the scope of the problem. Child maltreatment is the abuse and neglect that occurs to children under 18 years of age. It includes all types of physical and emotional ill treatment, sexual abuse, neglect, negligence, and commercial or other exploitation which results actual or potential harm to child's health, survival, development, or dignity in the context of a relationship of responsibility, trust, or power. Child maltreatment causes children and families and can have long-term consequences. Maltreatment causes stress that is associated with disruption in early brain development. Extreme stress can impair the development of the nervous and immune systems. Consequently, as adults, maltreated children are at increased risk for behavioral, physical, and mental health problems such as perpetrating or being a victim of violence, depression, smoking, obesity, high risk sexual behaviors, unintended pregnancy, alcohol, and drug misuse. Via these behavioral and mental health consequences, maltreatment can contribute to heart disease, cancer, suicide, and sexually transmitted infections. Violence against children is also a contributor in inequalities in education. Children who experience any form of violence in childhood have a 13% greater likelihood of not graduating from school. Beyond the health, social, and educational consequences of child maltreatment, there is an economic impact, including cost of hospitalization, mental health treatment, child welfare, and longer-term health costs. As childhood is of vital importance to one's life, the measures must be taken immediately to cure humanity's this severe problem.
Dear delegates, I am here to mention about some issues in my country, France. I regret to announce that there are many examples of child abuse and maltreatment even in my country, which was once the origin of the Declaration of Rights, especially in terms of refugee children, as Armelle Bigomaka, president of the Council of Children's Rights Association in France, says, immigrants under the legal age limit are treated differently in government offices in France, and this is truly unbearable. Child rights advocacy institutions and organizations are also concerned about the poor upbringing of these immigrants, who are left to their own devices and disturb the society. Even today, 200 live under a bridge in Paris waiting for the day of acceptance of shelter requests. The residents of the cities of Presles-en-Jarvis and Pantin, which are close to the tunnel, who see the difficulties brought by the cold and rainy weather conditions, provide daily meals with clothes that will keep immigrants warm, such as gloves, boats, and coats, with the WhatsApp solidarity groups they have formed. But the government should be the one who helps. Also, there are child abuse incidents that are not declared in the media. We need to be honest and go over that matter frankly. As children are our future, whether they are of our nation or of any nation in the world, they are all together will build our future. Thank you for listening to me.
Greetings from Italy, delegates. I am in the need to state some points about physical, sexual, and emotional violence against children. One of the most inhumane violations of children's rights is the sexual and physical and emotional abuse. However, collecting data on child sexual abuse, the inability or unwillingness of most of the victims to report the situation they have been exposed to is quite difficult. The reports based on victims of sexual abuse to authorities estimates suggest that the tragedy of sexual abuse is quite common in some countries. For example, the Internet Monitoring Foundation detected that 57,335 URLs containing child sexual abuse material in 2016. It has been reported that 60% of those were detected in Europe and 37% in North America. And the countries with the highest concentration of these connections are the Netherlands, the United States of America, as Canada, France, and the Russian Federation. Individuals who have been physically, sexually, or emotionally abused during their lives may encounter physical and mental health problems in the later stages of their lives. They are highly likely to experience various problems in their social and business lives. Also, the likelihood that an abused child will abuse others as an adult, the fact that the violence is higher and thus transmitted from one generation to the next. This should not be forgotten. The 34th, 35th, and 36th articles of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child clarifies that states shall not allow children any kind of exploitation and abuse to harm them. My suggestion is that we need to employ programmers to prevent sexual abuse that build awareness and teach skills to help children and adolescents to understand consent and avoid parent sexual abuse and exploitation, and to seek help and support. Thank you for your attention.